So today I'm announcing that I'm retiring from Test cricket. It's been a decision that hasn't come about lightly over the last month especially, but I just know it's the right time to be able to move on, still play hopefully shorter formats of the game one day as in 2020s. But yeah, that's a decision I've come to over a lot of thought.
Shane, it's probably about 10 minutes or so, but you heard the claps that you told your teammates. There's still a bit of a quiver in your voice. How long did it take you to reach it, and I guess how hard was it to actually deliver those words?
Look, it's been for the last month something that obviously I've thought about a lot, and I've been through a lot of different waves of emotion, as well of what the right thing is for myself, my family, and most importantly the team as well. So. And yeah, I just over the last couple of days, there's a lot of clarity of what the right decision was. So I just know that I've give everything I possibly can to get the best out of myself, and it's just I just know it's the right time to move on. I don't have that that real fight in me, especially for Test cricket, knowing the lengths physically I have to go to mentally and technically as well to be able to be my best again in Test cricket. So I just know it's the right time.
Was there a kind of a clinching moment or anything that happened in the past couple of days which pushed you towards this decision?
Not really. There wasn't really one exact moment, because I've been through a lot of different sort of mindsets. One from believing that the right thing is to play on, then the next day it was no, I think the right thing is to retire from Test cricket as well. So it was more just the last couple of days. It was just, for whatever reason, there was a clarity in my mind about what the right thing, what the right decision is. Being very lucky to have talked to a few people over the last month, but especially the last couple of days, who have just give me that little bit more clarity in my family, but also a couple of very close friends who, one in particular who went through it himself in his career, so he just provided a little bit more clarity as well of what the right decision was.
What are you most proud of, Shane, with what you've achieved with your Test career?
Well, there's a lot that I'm proud of. I suppose the thing that I'm most proud of is I've given everything I possibly can to get the best out of myself. I haven't achieved certainly all the things that I dreamed of achieving in Test cricket, and averaging 50 with the bat, and in the 20s with the ball. That's obviously the dream as an all-rounder to be able to achieve. And obviously I didn't get anywhere near that, but I do know I gave it everything I possibly can to be able to get the best out of myself, and that's, I suppose, what I'm most proud of.
Do you think the sort of focus on the conversion rate to hundreds was fair? And I guess is your proudest moment those first 2 years as opener, 18 months, where it didn't seem no one could get you out from about under 40 or 50?
Yeah, the consistency that I was able to play, especially when I was opening, was certainly a time that I look back on very fondly. There's no doubt. The opportunity that I got really from Ricky Ponting to open the batting in the 2009 Ashes, the third Test matches, certainly things just really kicked on for quite a few years from that moment. So of course I didn't convert the 50s into 100s that I certainly would have, but it's certainly not through lack of trying. I was doing everything I could. It just it wasn't meant to be in that regard. So but I certainly know that I was batting at that time, and I still at this moment in time, I've always dreamed of being able to bat and play the way I have throughout my career as a young kid. So to be able to actually put it out on the ground against some of the best players in the world is certainly something I'm very proud of.
Did you ever think about calling it earlier with all the injury issues you've had over your career? No, it wasn't. If anything, I was just going to contemplate not bowling. That was probably because of my injury issues were primarily just through bowling. So I was never certainly going to retire from cricket or Test cricket because of any earlier, because I've always loved the challenge that Test cricket provides, whether it's just as a batsman, but as an all-rounder and a bowler as well. So no, it really has only been over the last month, when things certainly haven't turned out to plan, that I just knew it was getting closer to the right time.
So, did you feel like you were marked harsher than other Test players, and has that been difficult to deal with, particularly over the last couple of years?
No, I don't think I've been marked any harder. I suppose in the end, from my perspective, all I know is what I was able to achieve when I was at my best and playing really well. And for the last couple of years in Test cricket, I haven't been able to produce exactly that consistently anyway. So I certainly don't think I got marked any harder than anyone else. It's more just from my own perspective, what I not being at my absolute best and being as consistent with what I was when I was playing at my best, when I was opening especially, that I just wasn't I wasn't performing how I know I could have, and in the end things got written about me accordingly.
How were your teammates when you told them this morning?
I'm not sure.
How are you?
Look, to tell my teammates about a number that I'm close with was difficult, but and that's probably been the hardest time, is actually, and the most emotional time, is telling my teammates. But in the end, I'm not moving on forever. I'm still hopefully going to be able to play some one day in 2020 cricket for Australia as well. But I'm always around to be able to help the guys out, whether it's on the field or off the field, because I do absolutely love the game, and I know even after the days that I finish playing cricket, that I will be involved in helping out in whatever way I can, because through my experiences on and off the field, being an all-rounder as well, I feel I have got a lot to give back to the players as well, and that's certainly going to continue.
Were there any discussions with Darren or the selectors about staying on just because of the amount of experience that the team has lost after the Ashes and Steve as the new captain?
Well, that's been part of the dialogue over the last month. Whether that's with Darren or Rod Marsh or Steve Smith as well. So, and that's been one of the biggest challenges in my own mind to be able to work through as well. But as I said, I just knew with the young group of especially all-rounders that are coming through, which is very exciting, and just where I'm at as well, and knowing that what it takes to for me to get be at my best in Test cricket, that I just knew that spirit just isn't there anymore. As I said, knowing the lengths that I've got to go to, so and Buff and Steve Smith and Rod did totally understood as well where I was coming from. So, but that's certainly the experience side of things, and being able to be around was the major reason why I was considering staying on. But as I said, I just knew in the end I wasn't going to be doing a service to the group by just hanging around just for what I can provide, whether it's off the field alone, because I can still, I'm still going to do that in any way I can to the guys that are, the young guys that are there.
One day, as you've obviously had the big innings in the World Cup just earlier this year, good big contributions the last two games, World 2020 coming up, you've had a big World 2024. Do you think with Tests out of the way that people will now actually be able to maybe appreciate and maybe fate you more for what you do for Australia in limited overs?
Well, that's not what I'm about, so it doesn't, if whatever people think, they're going to think either way, so that's not the reason why I'm continuing to play on in one day in 2020s. I still feel I've got a lot to give one days and 2020s with of course the 2020 World Cup coming up as well, which is something that we even in Bangladesh we certainly didn't have a great tournament there, so that's something that's is on the horizon in that regard. But look, in the end, early on in my career I realised that there's no point, and I can't worry about what people think, whether they like me, don't like me, appreciate me, don't appreciate me. It's in the end, all I've done is try to get the absolute best out of myself, and that's all I've ever done.